painted skin. There is a scholar surnamed Wang Taiyuan. Morning walk on the road, met a girl, holding a burden, alone, hastily running. Walking seems very difficult. Wang quickly sprint to catch up with her. A few steps, turned out to be a beautiful 16-year-old woman. She was very fond of her. Wang asked her, "Why are you alone before dawn? A man walking on the road?" The woman said, "You're a pedestrian crossing, not for me to share the grief. We still need to ask it." Wang said, "Do you have any worries I might be able to contribute to help?" "Certainly not, refuse," the woman said with sad face. "My parents seek money to rich people when I sell a large house. Concubine, particularly jealous wife. Morning call at night, play insulted me. I cannot stand it. Want to escape too far." Wang asked her, "Where do you want to go?" The woman said, "I am a fleeing man. Where there is a certain place." King Chan said, "My home is not far from here, where I trouble you. 2 grievances about it." The woman is very happy with this proposal. Wang gifted for her to carry the burden of the object, led her family back together. Woman next for to see, no one else see the house, and asked, "How small it is?" "Not your home," Wang replied, "This is my study." The woman said, "This place great of Mr. I love and affection, let me live. Be sure to keep a secret, do not disclose to others." Wang readily agreed. Down that night, sharing a bed with her gifted Wang put her hiding in the chamber where, after many days, people do not know. Later, Wang revealed to take it a little wife. I heard his wife Chen suspected that the woman is wealthy. Han's family fled concubines. To persuade Wang, sent her away. Wang has insisted on not listening. One day, Wang occasionally go to the market up, met a Taoist priest. That priest saw Wang. It is asked in surprise, "You recently met what sort of person?" Wang replied, "No way." Priest said, "You are all haunted by evil." How? Said no. Wang tried to defend themselves, say is no. Priests will go sigh, said, "I do not understand. All people have actually come to their senses, but also to the imminent death of people in the world." Wang felt his words unusual. It is suspected that some of the women, then I thought, she plainly is a beautiful girl. How it would be a monster? Taoist thought perhaps an excuse for the town. A demon accept blame to extract money. A moment later, he went to the library door, saw the door sticking out from the inside, not child inside. He doubts as to this practice, then climbed over a broken wall into the yard and saw the interior door is also closed. He tiptoed, went to the window to peek and saw a grim evil, pale, sharp and long teeth like serrated, like a human skin being put on the bed, holding a brush and color drawing. After unfinished, evil spirits drop the brush, lift human skin, like clothes, like to shake the human skin draped over his body, so he turned into a beautiful woman. After Wang saw this situation, extreme fear, like an animal on all fours to climb out, he hurried to pursue priests, but priests have disappeared up. Wang everywhere to find over and over. Just on the outskirts of priests met, he knelt in front of priests struggling to help. Taoist priest said, "Let me put it off. It was not easy to practice this stuff, just to find someone to replace. The man can be reborn. I do not have the heart to hurt its life." And then put in the hands of Whisker Wang Shen, so he hung on the bedroom door. We came to break up, with the priests, and Wang agreed to meet later in the Qingtai temple. Wang back then, not into his study, he fell asleep in the room at home, hanging from a whisk. During the night more hours, he suddenly heard the door sounded kicky chinking sound. Wang did not dare peek, scared, even let his wife go quietly take a look. I saw the girl came over, saw hanging in front of the door cannot whisk, stood teeth, after a long time away, but after a while her children again, harshly scolded. That priest's trying to scare me. I was unwilling to give it. "Do you want me to eat meat?" Mouth spit it. Then, whisk to remove torn debris, and damage the bedroom door. Rushed in. Wang goes direct climb of bed, grab the chest and abdomen. Wang crack, dig out the heart and left. His wife screamed and wept together. According to a maid holding a candle, see Wang dead, bloody mess, peritoneal cavity. Chen's wife scared, began Sheng's hang, can only swallow tears. The next morning, his brother Chen Jiro Wang ran to tell the priests. Priests said angrily, "I was miserable at this evil dare so rampant. Wang immediately went home with Wang's brother. The woman has been omitted. Priests looked up and looked around, said fortunately, it has not fled far. Priest asked, whose south center? Wang Erlang said it was my premises. Priest said now that the ghost in your home. Wang Erlang was very stunned, thinking that there is no such thing as children. Priest asked him, was there a single person? Does not know. Wang Erlang said I went early in the morning to find your Qingtai temple, let me go home, really do not know to ask. Said and departed. After a while child, he came back and said sure enough, there in the morning to an old lady, like a servant employed in my house, my wife took her stayed, and now I still did not go home. The priest said this is the guy, so we went to the Wang Erlang home. Priests holding wooden sword, which stood in the courtyard, shouted, commit a sin of evil, whisk to lose my scaring the daylights out that old lady in the house, going out the door to escape. Priests go to catch up, hitting her with a wooden sword. Old woman fell, human skin uproar soon split off the ground, emerged in the prototype of evil, it howling like a pig lying on the ground. Priests with wooden sword cut off the head of evil, its body has become thick smoke around on the ground together into a pile. Priests out a hoist, uncorking and then stack them in smoke, only to hear swishing direct sound, like someone like mouth breathing. Smoke was hoist instant sucked clean. Taoist gourd stuffed mouth, put luggage in. We then see the earth goes on human skin. I saw the eyebrows, eyes, hands, feet, none of them do not have. Priests who rolled up piece of skin, like a roll scrolls as buzzing sound, but also on luggage, and then say goodbye to everyone ready to leave. Chen bow down in front, crying, pleading with priests revive Wang. Resuscitation of the law. Taoist priest said he was incompetent and weak. Chen even more grief, fell down on the ground, refused up. Taoist thought for a moment and said my spell spar shallow, it is not back to life, I'll show you a man, he might be able to, you go ask him to try, should have effect. Chen asked what is, and priests, he said there is a madman on the streets, often lying in the dirt among you, try to kowtow, begged him mad if he insulted his wife, Mrs. you do not get angry. Wang Erlang also familiar with the madman, envy, after the farewell priests, Chen and his wife to go along with that madman. Once there, he saw a beggar on the road, Fing Indian singing, nose dragged 3 feet long, filthy stench who people cannot close. Chen moved to kneel in front of him with his knee. The beggar laughed and said Americans love me. Chen told him what was the matter. Beggar laughed and said everybody can do to your husband, to save him what to do. Chen was repeatedly begging. The beggar said, really strange, dead also came up to me, save him king of hell. I is it, having angrily hit with a stick begging Chen. Chen endured the pain to endure his beat. At this time, the crowd of people on the streets gradually have packed up like a wall. Beggar coughed up phlegm and saliva to spit a full one, to give Chen's mouth, said, eat it. Chen blushed, pained, but advised her to think of priests, do not be afraid to insult, fight back with a mouth nausea, devour it. I just feel that phlegm in the throat to swallow, like a cloud of cotton was hard. Princess ringing go down, coalescence in the chest stopped. Beggar laughed and said Americans love me, so they got up to go. Chen no longer ignore. Chen and Jiro followed him to the temple. I want to get closer to go begging, but could not find him. They searched all the ins and outs, and no trace of anger and shame had headed back home. Chen returned home, mourning her husband both died so tragic, and regrets his lick someone else's saliva sputum shame, screaming in pain to 80, but only to his dead immediately. Her husband wanted to wipe the bloody corpse of Convergence, but the family are scared, stood at a distance, no one dared come near. Wang Chen had no choice but to pick up the bodies, pack bowels to the outside of the stomach, while cleaning up while howl. When she cried hoarse to Wen, suddenly feel wanted and vomiting, feel the coalescence between the chest and abdomen lump, a sudden gush from the throat, she turned away too late, that something has suddenly fell on Wang's chest cavity. Chen was surprised to see, turned out to be a human heart, in the chest. Wang chug beating, like smoke braved the steaming heat. Chen amazed, Wang hastily closed his chest with both hands, trying to squeeze close together, a little loose. I saw a plume of hot air coming out from the cracks, then ripped silk. hurried to Wang's chest, belly bind tightly. At this point, she then stroking the body, some have felt gradually warm up. It gave Wang covered with a quilt. Middle of the night, she visited them and found Wang's nostrils have some flavor. Dawn the next day, Wang actually alive. He only said trance like a dream, only to find there in the belly aching, made scratched place, end up with coins so much hard crust. Not long afterwards, the king gifted healed. Different, she said. People in the world really stupid, huh? Obviously a monster, but he thought it was beautiful. Stupid people really come to their senses, huh? Obviously advice, he was considered a bully jump. However, his love of beauty others away insatiable hunt. His wife will also eat someone else's saliva sputum, and regard it as delicious. People of good and evil will be rewarded in accordance with justice. Just stupid and muddy people always come to their senses. Nothing can really settle.